Happy New Year. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for another full trip around the sun. 2025 was obviously fantastic. New Year's Eve, it was an honor to be down there in Jerry World, and congratulations to the Miami Hurricanes. Big physical win over the Ohio State Buckeyes. They advance, obviously, to take on who? Well, the winner of Ole Miss in Georgia. Well, congratulations to Ole Miss getting a huge win over Georgia. Obviously, what Golding is doing down there is the head coach, the man who was tasked with taking over a franchise, a program that was in complete disarray but had a phenomenal football team with potential exits happening both from the coaching staff and the locker room. This dude's been able to keep everybody on the same page. Congratulations to Winadad and this Ole Miss team getting a huge win over Georgia. Gunnar Stockton really couldn't get much going through the sky, was great on the ground. This was a thriller, and their kicker hits from 55, 56, and then a game-winning 47-yarder. What an absolute stud. Congrats to Ole Miss. What a beautiful story. Now, speaking of beautiful stories, the Indiana Hoosiers just absolutely smacking Alabama around at the Rose Bowl with Curt Cignetti, Fernando Mendoza, and a group of boys and lads that would consider themselves as misfits and cast-offs who've come to Bloomington, Indiana, and created a football program from absolutely nothing. Whenever you talk about Indiana, you usually talk about the basketball team. You talk about the stripes on the pants. You talk about maybe a March Madness run. Now, that hasn't happened in a long time either, but you know them for Bob Knight and football. Then Curt Cignetti comes to town, starts talking his shit, gets everybody to buy in, has President Pam Whitten on his side saying, whatever you need, however you need it, let's go ahead and do it. And they quickly go from a nothing to a powerhouse. Number one team in the country, played just as such, and they get a dominant win right in front of us. And Connor, who is a die-hard IU Hoosier football fan.
Day one.
Just because, I think actually, day one of the Cignetti era.
Day one is sick.
Yeah, Boston Connor becomes an IU fan. So for Becker, this guy who was saw action in, I think, 3 games prior to the Rose Bowl, had 2 during the regular season, I think, then the Big Ten championship, and then now in the Rose Bowl, goes absolutely ham. You got Cooper Jr. and Surratt still. You got Hemby in the backfield. You got the Heisman, and then you got an offensive line where the center won the offensive player of the game for the Rose Bowl. Whenever you then go to the defensive side, thumping Alabama. Cracked a rib right there is what's being reported for Ty Simpson. That was Pons who caused the fumble. And absolutely devastating strike right to the back that ejects the football from Ty Simpson. Indiana would obviously recover, go score, and then they would just continue to pile it on. So much so that Fernando Mendoza's little brother, Alberto Mendoza, actually got in the game. The starters were rested. Cignetti was smiling on the sideline for the first time. And this Indiana Hoosiers team is excited for a rematch against the Oregon Ducks down there in Atlanta. So Oregon, Indiana battling. Oregon beats Texas Tech, by the way. Texas Tech, great story.
Good season.
Good people.
Great season, great people. We don't think they're going anywhere. Okay, we do not want to say that they were a bad team or had a bad season because they didn't score a point against Oregon and it didn't work out. To be fair, Indiana was the only team and is the only team that had a first-round bye, and has won in that second week. That's been a tough thing for a lot of college football teams to do, all the college football teams to do, except for Indiana. So whenever you talk about the Oregon Ducks, they beat JMU, then they blank Texas Tech, and now they got to run into a red-hot Indiana team down there at the Peach Bowl, and then out there in the desert, you got Miami. Tough team.
Tough team.
Tough team.
Strapping young lads.
I mean, they are.
A lot of sandpaper.
A lot of jam.
A lot of grit, yeah. Sandpaper jam and grit. Tenacity, a ruthlessness, a savageness. I mean, everything that Mario Cristobal wants his team to be, they are. And you see it every single play. There was a tackle made where the form was actually dolphin dive, top of helmet, to jaw in the second half. And the ref said, nah, let the boys play.
Good hit.
Play on.
Let the boys play. They're a physical team. Ole Miss, you got to be one of the mentally toughest teams that ever exist to go through everything that they're going through. And we don't know Golding that well. Okay, obviously we know what people have said about Golding, but all I know is all he's done is manage a team in the most difficult situation I don't want to say of all time because I don't know the sport in its entirety for 100+ years or whatever.
Recent memory.
In the CFP era.
And boom, they beat Georgia. Boom, they beat the hell out of Tulane. Boom, a coach left to go win a national championship somewhere else. Well, we're in the semifinals for the national championship right now, and our quarterback and our defense look phenomenal. College football playoffs, I know there's been a couple blowouts. I know there's been some teams, obviously, that people didn't think that should get in. It has been fantastic. And maybe we're a little biased because we're on the sideline. Hands up, that's on us.
Yeah.
It is so much fun. Thank you to college football for what they did for New Year's Eve, for New Year's Day, what they're going to do next Thursday, next Friday. I mean, this is spectacular, and the best 4 teams, the most physical 4 teams, have made it to the semifinals, and we love that. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Con, man, I love the non-biasness right there. You got the Mendoza shirt on. Hey, I was there, just want to talk about it. Rose Bowl hat. It was beautiful out there. Feels like the football gods kind of blessed us, but not just with the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, this entire college football playoff thus far.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, look at those 4 teams. Going into the year, there's no way in hell any of those 4, I guess maybe Oregon, but Oregon, Indiana, Ole Miss never have won a national championship. Miami hasn't won since 2001. Like, it is very much so, hey, this is the first time ever one of these teams probably is going to win a natty, or Miami, one of the most iconic, brands in all of college football, is going to be all the way back. Like, we've done it before with Texas and Miami. Like, they're back. This would be a big time, holy hell, Miami is actually the Miami of old. Michael Irvin, Edgerrin James, Andre Johnson, Ray Lewis, all those guys on the sideline, that entire era. But it is kind of like the NFL too. It's just a bunch of new teams at the top, and the cool part about the NIL era, like a lot of teams at home, Texas Tech being one of them, they're probably looking at it like, hey, there's no reason we won't be back here next year. Look at what Indiana just did. That's exactly what we can do, and it's just a magical time of year for football.
And I think they got it right here. The Big Ten will definitely have a representation in the national championship.
As they should.
Obviously, Indiana's taking on Oregon, but a lot of the stats and the records and everything that are coming out, obviously Ole Miss has a chance to continue to go and represent for them, but the SEC overall in bowl time, we got a lot of opt-outs, It's like you're the only teams dealing with that? SEC, not great. No. Big Ten, basically peacocking right now about who they are. In Indiana doing what they did to Alabama, huge. And not in the college football playoff, Iowa, who nobody talked about making a playoff. Nobody talked about having any Heisman. Nobody talked about anything. They beat Vandy, obviously, in the bowl game, but that's not the only one. The Big Ten has kind of been the North has been kind of running college ball here for a little bit, and I think people are starting to acknowledge that, not just above the Mason-Dixon line, but also below it.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be, the 3rd year in a row that the Big Ten will have. They've obviously won the last 2 national championships, and listen, I'm a Big Ten guy, so I don't want to just be a homer, but they're going to win a 3rd national championship this year, whether it's Indiana or Oregon.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Hey, could you imagine Ole Miss? They have a chance. That Trinidad dude,
that story,
so good.
That story is incredible. If they were, I didn't think there was any way they'd be able to all go like this. Transfer portal open today. Okay, everybody that is potentially leaving Ole Miss to go to LSU or to go anywhere else, today they would have to get out and say. So for last night, for that game to happen, when there isn't a way to be distracted, to be able to beat Georgia. I mean, it was just, that's insane. And then this Miami Hurricanes team, they might be team of destiny right
Unbelievable.
now. So to your point,
but
Big Ten definitely has a representative in the national championship.
Right.
And certainly Indiana looks like the best team in all of football right now. But it's like the Big Ten, once these numbers start adding up and once these years start adding up, it's going to be like.
It's kind of indisputable.
When the NIL era kind of came in and all the teams from the North, all the non-football nerds that go to all these schools are in the North who get these business jobs or these equity jobs or whatever other businesses they start, all of a sudden they're all like, wait, we can help the football team? Yes, how can you do that? You give us $500,000, you give us $750,000. They're like, I would love that. Never been able to be a part of this football team. Would like to be a part of the sports program. In the North has a lot of teams that are. Indiana didn't even have a football program. We have on good information that $2 million was donated to the football team from a very famous alum last week. Another $1 million was donated. You win the Rose Bowl like that, another one comes. It's like
Alumni Network.
Yeah, the largest alumni network in America. It's like these northern schools have a lot of people with a lot. I'm not saying the South doesn't. Obviously, you got, I think, Tim Apples from Auburn. Like, there is a lot of people that have money in the South. I'm not saying that. But whenever you talk about people who have the ability to give up $150,000, $250,000 at these northern schools, state schools, whatever it is, it's like they got a lot of those people. If there's a little bit of success, they're going to keep going. It feels like that's what we're seeing across college football in this NIL era.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of people who are either fans of Big Ten teams or who went to Big Ten schools kind of took umbrage with, like, it's just different down here. Is like, it's different in the Big Ten too. It is like those are rabid fan bases, and it's not just Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. Like, there are, you know, a lot of those teams, if they have the means, like, and you go look at it, like, there are people willing to donate to football and to athletics because they love the Big Ten. But what I was going to say to your point about, and I tweeted it after the Miami game, that they felt like a team of destiny. Very rarely do we get it. It almost feels like all four of these teams kind of have that team of destiny feel. Like Miami on the doorstep, almost didn't get in. Ole Miss, we just talked about everything that's happened with them. Oregon, #1 seed last year, get embarrassed in the first round and then have a close one against JMU. And then obviously Indiana speaks for itself. Like, very rarely do you get the final four teams where if you're not a fan of any one of them, you can kind of talk yourself into being like, you know what, I'd be happy to see any of these four teams win the national championship.
Yeah, congrats to these four squads. Congrats to college football, too.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people calling for it's, you know, like it's going to end, it's going to end. And I think there is a lot of problems that need to be figured out, you know, because when you're winning in anything and you're not doing it in a good, sound way, it's going to catch up to you at some point. That's in any business. That's in any situation. That's for sports for sure. Whenever you win, but you're not doing it the right way, the winning is kind of covering up all the bad stuff. And then inevitably, the bad stuff's going to get you. That's what everybody's kind of saying about the underbelly of college football. It's like, hey, winning right now, ratings, better than they've ever been. More eyes, more storylines, more drama, clear-cut #2 sport in America right now. There's more everything about college football, but it's built on a house of cards, is what everybody's saying, because all this shit can't keep up with itself. It's like if they're able to figure that out, which is going to be very difficult, feels like Nick Saban is very invested. Every week he has a new, we need to do this, we need to do this. It's like, wait, are you sure you don't want to do this? There's a lot to sign up for. All right, I retired. I don't have time to be able to do it. But he's definitely sitting in his office typing up ways and ideas that he has. So I think there's enough of those types of people who are trying to figure it out, but they need to get all that fixed so that we can continue to see this incredible thing just continue to thrive, because college football is special, man. We're out there in a Rose Bowl. You got people from Indiana that never thought in a million years they'd be able to get out there and watch their team do their thing. And numbers are coming out. 56,000 Hoosiers fans traveled out to the Rose Bowl. This is what's being reported by Chase Parham. Stadium capacities for the four teams left in college football. Ole Miss, 68,000. Oh, this is the stadiums as a whole. I'm sorry, not the people that traveled out there. 64,000 Miami, 60,000 Oregon. Indiana, 56,000. This is the stadiums in which they currently play in. And you know, the thing about Autzen, I think they're adding on to that out there in Oregon. But Indiana, they're in the middle of trying to build a real stadium. Yeah. Like they added on tents for suites on the field to get more money capable from the donor. Because the donors are like, well, what can we get? What can we do? And they're like, we got these field level suites. They're like, what do they look like? Well, they're really cool.
Graduation tent.
Yeah, they're great. They start putting these
They're
things
on the
up.
field.
You're on the field. They did. They literally put up tents to put down there. They're nice. I'm not saying they're like ass tents. I'm saying like they're very nice tents, but they're like building these suites in real time because they understand what they have. And I can't go back to it enough. Like having the president, Pam Whitten's her name, she was at Georgia and she watched what the football team did for the university. And I think the same thing happened in Alabama whenever Saban was there. I think Saban and the president and the school were like, hey, if the football team's good, we know that's good for our entire university. I'm not saying Indiana was ever not going to be successful without football, because they had been forever. Okay, Indiana University, a lot of people go through their business school is outrageous. I think their dentistry school is like one of the finest in the America. I think Indiana's got a good school. Like, this is not something that they're like worried about our school not surviving if the sports aren't doing well. But the president comes in from Georgia, watching what the football team and what sports was able to do for her, and she's like, how do we make sports bigger? She's all in. Athletic director, all in. Signetti had the opportunity to potentially go somewhere else. Penn State would have loved, Western Pennsylvania boy. Okay, this is literally where he was born. Dad, Western Pennsylvania legend. So to go to Penn State was certainly something that a Signetti family member would certainly listen to. That That job was open for 24, 48 hours for Signetti. Signetti gets called. Do you want to go from the school? And he's like, nope. They're like, you want to work a new deal? Yup. Sounds good. They negotiate a deal. 48 hours later, they sign, they lock him in there. And in the deal, it says, good faith. Anytime there's a new contract, if we are good, I think I deserve to be in the top 3, top 4, whatever it is of everybody else. Indiana's like, yeah, you got it, man. Don't worry about it. So it's like you got the head coach locked in for seemingly 10 years. You got all these sponsors or boosters and everything like that locked in. You got the president locked in. It's like this is not a flash in the pan here.
No.
This is a new football powerhouse. As long as Sig is able to continue to go ahead and get the right talent, which we think is his superpower.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think that is a superpower there. And just like Texas Tech, I mean, Texas Tech's going to be in it for the long haul as well, because I think the way Cody Campbell described it is we're sitting on the largest ball field in the world or whatever, and he is very invested in it. They lose to Oregon. Oregon, Phil Knight, I assume he's going to be invested for Ohio State. The way that thing ended, their people are going to want. I mean, it's like it's not just these teams from the north having a little bit. Not Texas Tech isn't from the north. They're Big 12. We'll claim them.
Sure.
We'll claim them because it's Big
lump
12
them
or
in.
whatever.
They're greedy.
But it's like these schools that have seen the opportunity to potentially invest in ball and get good at ball are now reaping the benefits of doing it. And let's not even talk about Miami. Miami's president is a former private equity guy. I mean, he is a money guy. And the deal that just got negotiated or worked or decision that was made by the ACC, allegedly it's being reported on the internet, the ACC, Jim Phillips, is giving all $14 million that was supposed to be dispersed amongst the ACC or amongst the league. They're giving that entire thing to Miami for winning that game. It's like, that's good business.
Yeah.
If we would hope that would happen, but they didn't have to do that. I would assume that people at Miami who are the big money brain people aren't bad at negotiations, didn't go, hey, don't you think? Yeah, just a little bit of a leaner into something. It's like you got people all committed to ball right now.
Yep.
It's a great thing. I don't know if it's great for the SEC.
Now.
That is kind of what the SEC is always going to be special. The SEC is always going to have incredible environments everywhere. Now, that Vandy is good. Like, there is no disrespect from me on what the SEC has done for college football and what college football means to the SEC. But it's like, there's a lot of schools that are trying to catch up quick, and they have the ability to do so with the current setup. Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys, AP Tone. Go ahead, bub.
Just the whole thing, everything you said is awesome. College football, the product on the field, and then the parity right now, it makes it so much better, in my opinion. This is the first time since the college football playoffs started that Georgia, Bama, Clemson, or Ohio State are not into the semifinals. I think that's good for the sport. Like, I think people kind of get tired when it's just, Bama or Georgia or whatever every single year. So these 4 teams being in there is huge. And all 4 of these teams, like, they are, like, the NIL transfer portal helped every single one of them. All 4 of the quarterbacks are transfer quarterbacks. Dante Moore is the only one that has been there for more than 1 year at the school. So all 4 teams have benefited from the portal in that situation. The beginning of the year, these teams were ranked Oregon 7th, Miami 10th, Indiana 20th, and Ole Miss 21st. So it's not like they were outside of the top 25, but they were not, predicted to win the national championship. So I think more interest in things like that, people will come in because it's not just the same teams every single year to watch this run. It's going to be really, really awesome. And I looked up a stat right before the game because you talked about how tough and gritty these teams are, and that's potentially why they're there. IU has the 2nd-ranked defense in the country. Miami has the 4th-ranked defense in the country. Oregon has the 6th-ranked defense in the country. And then Ole Miss is sitting there at 29th, so I guess they would be the outlier. But, and then Ohio State won it last year with the number 1 defense. Michigan won it the year before with the number 1 defense. Georgia the year before that with the number 1 defense. So, yes, you got to be a tough, great in the trenches team to get this far into the playoffs.
Yeah, and also the mentality of the coach is very evidently radiating through the team. That might be Golding's thing, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the cut of his jib.
a lot.
Yeah.
I really I didn't think anybody, Saban goes in there. Hey, 6 coaches that aren't going to be here that are allegedly trying to recruit for another school.
Charlie Weiss is at LSU this morning. It was recorded.
For transfer.
Work, but yeah.
It's like, how does one person keep them all just – because there's a lot of times to quit. When it doesn't start going well, you can immediately turn the page to the next one. Because I saw Brian Hartline I mean, he's already thrown up a
Yeah,
go Bulls. I mean, they just lost to Miami. He's already saying go Bulls. I'm like, man, I know you love that Ohio State team, Hardline. I know you have that.
Yeah.
But in the college football space, you have to be all in with your place, because if you're not, the recruits, the families, the other schools, like, this guy doesn't even really like where he's at right now. So it's like, with what's happening with that coaching staff, the fact that they're able to win.
The game was awesome.
There were so many times they could have quit.
Yeah.
Like, so many times.
Because they were up 12-0 and then go down 21-12. Like, and
I thought that was it.
Yeah, I thought
everyone
they were
thought
gonna
that
get beat
was
by
it.
50.
Yeah, I thought that was it. I thought they were going to give up. I thought everybody was just going to move on. All the transfers. Trinidad's trying to negotiate with the NCAA right now to get another year. He's more worried about where he's going to play next. Like, there's so many of those things that can happen in football that we've seen other teams have to do, or I guess we've never seen anybody have to deal with this. But just like people thinking about their next job as opposed to focusing on their current job, not great. It's like, this Golding guy might have the special sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, he legitimately might be able to do it. That's an impossible task he was able to accomplish, and they beat Georgia. I mean, that is just a wild thing. College football is the greatest.
That's why you got to wonder, hey, those 6 coaches that are going Ole Miss to LSU, are they not waking up today like, do I really want to do this? Why would I go to LSU when we're in the semis right now? And things have not been kind of calm and all focused on ball. Like that, there's no arguing that. Over the last month, Ole Miss has been going through a lot of BS, so they haven't been able to just lock in. So Pete Golden being able to get them to is incredible. But if you are Charlie Weiss or one of those other 5.
Or the players.
Or the players that are,
sure.
exactly. You're telling me that there's not just 10%, 1% of them saying like, screw the Tigers. I'm just going to stay in Oxford.
It was kind of my take the entire time. Like, so you're leaving to go win a national championship, but you have a team right now that could win a national championship. So I was just confused. I'm new to college football, relatively new to college football. Help me explain. Okay, help me explain. And the LSU fans were even coming after me when I was like, you don't get it, boy. You just don't get it. And it's like, I guess I don't. You're trying to win it. This team has a chance to go win a national championship. Why are you saying that you can only do it at this other place? Well, the recruiting in high school, it's like, well, we got the transfer portal now. Do you want to live and die with the transfer portal? It's like, a lot of teams that are winning and all are doing that right now.
Living down
That feels like it's kind of the modern world right now. And I'm not saying LSU isn't awesome. I assume it is whenever it's going really well. I've not experienced that since getting into this space. Obviously, we went down there for a game. South Carolina, they do the whole thing. It doesn't end up working out. It's like, I understand the greatness of the Cajuns down there and the fan base and the Tiger faithful, and they were certainly awesome and spectacular. But it's like, when it comes to the ball, Lane, it feels like you built it at Ole Miss. Like, you got to the point in which you were hoping to get to. Why are you just going to go try to redo it? Well, the recruiting's much easier down there. It's like, okay, I guess that's enough to make you decide that my life as a whole, as opposed to just a national championship this year, will be like this going forward. But if Ole Miss wins this whole thing, that's going to be such an interesting dynamic for why you make a decision to win a national championship whenever you literally had the team that did it.
Yeah.
6-7.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's over, by the way. It feels like it's over. Yeah, good for us.